And we're back. This is Elliot and Jose coming to you from Dreamland Comics in Schaumburg, Illinois, here on the Comic Culture Warrior video channel. I want to go in a different angle, in a different direction with this book because we talk about it a lot. This is another book that we talk about a lot that, you guys know that we like. But Secret Warriors #7 also came out this past week.
God of Fear, God of War. New storyline.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. Written by Jonathan Hickman. Alone. You no longer have Bendis.
Yep. That was the first thing I noticed when I picked this book up is that fucking Bendis' name's off of there.
Well, let's see how that goes over because this book had somewhat of a different feel to it. It felt different. It had the plot machinations just had a different pacing to it. And as I was reading it, it still felt like a Secret Warriors book. It didn't, there wasn't anything startlingly different about it. Except the only thing, if you're going to say startlingly different, the art and the fact that Nick Fury now looks more like the classic Nick Fury that we've known for the longest time. He does, the artist here, Vitti is his last name. Goes for more of the Steranko version of Nick Fury.
Yeah, I didn't really care for the art.
Alessandro Vitti. You didn't like the...
Well, the art was very inconsistent.
The artwork kind of started growing on me as it went. It grew on me. It started out a little erratic, and then it got better as it went.
Well, because you go to here, who does that look like to you?
It looked like Frank Castle in a way, but... Yeah.
It looks like fucking Ares, all right? Doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's got the battle axe.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be the headsman from Thunderbolts. But, this thing, it just looks like Ares. Because
I thought it was Ares.
I'm thinking, see?
You know what? It was...
But later on in the issue, it's headsman because I'm thinking, the Thunderbolts and Dark Avengers are teaming up. But that's not it, because at the end, it's all the Dark Avengers.
Headsman. No, you're right.
See?
You're right. And now that I look at it, it did look like Ares.
That looks exactly like Ares.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway... I thought you were trying to make the point that it's supposed to be Ares, but it looked like Frank Castle. But in either case, outside of the art, the writing is still pretty solid, pretty crisp. There's some funny jokes here and there. This is the part that got me the most. Enter again Natasha Romanoff, who's all over the friggin' Marvel
universe. Book is starting to tie in with the end of Thunderbolts.
And that was the thing, yes. I was reading this, and they're going, holy crap, wait, Natasha and Songbird? What's going on with that? Natasha is already spread thin as it is, and it wasn't until... it moved. Mind you, I was ready to start. We had always had this issue with editorial not watching where the characters are and making sure they can't be in 3 places at once, like they've been doing with friggin' Wolverine and Black Widow. Well, Black Widow too, yeah. Yeah, this is tying in with what's been going on in Thunderbolts recently.
Yeah, this takes place right after the ending of Thunderbolts.
Exactly, and I was going, wow, look at that. Not only did they time it well with the release of the books, it all makes sense within the story. So I'm there going, wow, why can't you do that more often with the books?
To me, it smacks of more of actually Diggle and Hickman talking to each other. I don't think this has anything to do with the editors. I can see Diggle in being all right, because this book actually it's continued in Thunderbolts.
Right.
So I can actually see the two writers talking all right, how are we going to do this? We're going to set this up because we're going to have a crossover here.
Right.
And I think it's more of them talking to each other than editorial actually telling them what they need to do. Right.
Because who is it that and again we've had this. It's always a criticism with Jeff Loeb, where Jeff Loeb says, they ask him, do you talk to the other writers when you're using these particular characters? He says, no, that's up to editorial to figure out.
Yeah, well, that's fucking run rampant in that new issue of Hulk.
Yeah.
With all the people in there, it's ridiculous.
So
that book's kind of be not in continuity.
So I gotta say, again, it just goes to show, if you're gonna go out there and you say, well, it's really hard to coordinate all these books and these events and blah 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 blah. You know what? You just showed it right there. You can do it.
Yeah.
You just showed it right there. If you can't have your editors coordinate things, at least have your writers talking to each other. Let your creative teams know, hey, why don't you guys talk about what's going on here and there, and then go from there. if you're going to do these grand sweeping events where characters are going back and forth and appearing in each other's books, you have to make that effort. And Secret Warriors certainly does make that effort, and I just had to point that out, that it works really well. So, A+ to Mr. Hickman on his own. All right, let's see if the sales can keep up. When we come back, we have 2 more Hickman books to talk about.
Hickman Day.
Yeah, Jonathan Hickman
CCW.
Day. We hope we see you then.